Good morning, dear students. Today's our theme is reading the report Combating Drought in Rural Africa. Introduction. A drought is an event of prolonged shortages in the water supply, whether atmospheric, below average precipitation, surface water, or groundwater. A drought can last for months or years, or may be declared after as few as 15 days. It can have a substantial impact on the ecosystem and agriculture of the affected region and harm to the local economy. Annual dry seasons in the tropics significantly increase the chances of a drought developing and subsequent bushfires. Periods of heat can significantly worsen drought conditions by hastening evaporation of water vapor. Impacts. Drought impacts. Droughts and water scarcity jointly pose a substantial threat to the environment, agriculture, infrastructure, society, and culture in Africa. Impacts can be both direct, such as affecting crops and reducing water supply and quality, and indirect, such as knock-on effects on business production, affecting the flow of goods and services. Yet our ability to characterize and predict the occurrence, duration, and intensity of droughts, as well as minimize and manage impacts of drought and water scarcity, is often inadequate. Drought contingency plan. A document identifies specific actions that can be taken before, during, and after a drought to mitigate some of the impacts and conflicts that result. Drought impact, a specific effect of drought. People also tend to refer to impacts as consequences or outcomes. Impacts are symptoms of vulnerability. Drought impact assessment process of looking at the magnitude and distribution of drought's effects. Mitigation, short and long-term actions, programs or policies implemented in advance of drought or in its early stages to reduce degree of risk to people, property, and productive capability. Drought consequences. Drought consequences could be one of the most serious consequences of climate change from a human and an economic perspective. On a global scale, droughts will likely lead to losses in revenue from agriculture on the scale of billions of dollars, and worse, force the migration of millions of people in arid regions of the world. Not every country can afford to engineer its way out of drought the way that Southern Africa has done for the last century. Drought. Significant environmental, agricultural, health, economic, and social consequences. Diminished crop growth or yield productions and carrying capacity for livestock. Consequences are dust bowls, dust storms, famine, habitat damage, malnutrition, dehydration and related diseases, mass migration and reduced electricity production. Drought occurrences. Drought occurrences is one of the most globally recognized hazards that damage an environment. It occurs when there is significant rainfall deficit that causes hydrological imbalances that affects the land's productive systems. Drought practically occurs in all climatic regions with both high and low mean rainfalls. It can result in damage to agricultural production as well as to the natural environment and human society. Drought is considered to be a natural disaster that differs from other natural disasters because it has a gradual creeping feature. Drought's normal recurring feature of the climate in most parts of the world. Earliest documented climate event, recurring droughts in many parts of Africa, for example, Sudan, Chad, Ethiopia, East Africa, decades of droughts. In Asian region, Himalayan basins, floods, followed by droughts, Gulf countries, some parts of China. In America, west coast of North America, Amazon basins in 2005. And in this page, I give you some report about rural Africa and take some information about South Africa, about droughts in rural Africa. Please read it very carefully. Looking at this map, you can get data about overheating, boiling, and simmering of Africa. And this is the last page of my lesson. Please watch and take information about drought in Africa. Thank you for watching my lesson. The lesson is over. Goodbye.